last class we had started off with non-banking financial institutions, right? We studied about the various functions and how and why was this non-banking financial institution was set up in our economy. We also looked at the history. Now we are looking at the first institution called as the Industrial Finance Corporation of India. Now remember, as this institution started to establish in our economy, the first reason why these developmental banks, now all that we study as non-banking, otherwise it is called as developmental bank, because these institutions only and only focus upon developing small scale industries, developing exports, making sure the equipment has been available to the industries, etc. Their focus is on developing industries or developing entrepreneurial activities, right? By making sure they give their financial assistance, equipment leasing, etc. So one such what we have introduced last class is IFCI, which was the first developmental bank in India or non-banking financial institution in India, right? So the primary role of why this institution was set up, we knew that to provide direct financial assistance, correct? To provide direct financial assistance. Again, it is basis on what kind of industrial projects in terms of corporate or in cooperative sectors. So let's look at the objectives in detail today. Objectives of IFCI. The first one, as we just told, financial assistance, direct financial assistance. It goes with that. First point, to provide long and medium term credit to industrial concerns engaged in manufacturing, mining, that's actually shipping, and electricity generation and distribution. Now here that we see, IFCI is primarily set up to provide direct financial assistance, because at this time when IFCI was set up in 1948, correct? Now back then when it was set up, our commercial banks were not so developed, or a commercial banks was only meant to meet the small scale needs or the societal needs in a smaller sector or in a smaller scale. They were not so developed and equipped to meet the needs of industries or in order to provide long-term loans, right? There would be a question, why should IFCI provide long-term loans when there was commercial banks? The reason was, yes, commercial banks was established, but they were not well equipped to meet the needs on a larger scale. Now, when I'm talking about industry and especially larger or medium scale industries, they require huge amount of capital which will run to lakhs or crores. That was not being able to fetch through commercial banks. That is why the economy or our government introduced these developmental banks, which only focused on or gave special attention on industries. So IFCI started providing, or its objective was to provide long and medium term credit. Now what kind of industries? Look at what kind of industries they are focusing on: manufacturing, mining, shipping, electricity generation and distribution. These are a very large scale industries. It doesn't mean these industries that has been mentioned here only provide or cater to the needs of a city or a village. No, they cater to the needs of the entire economy, right? They focus on manufacturing in one part of the city or one part of the country, but then want to have sales or distribution all over the country, right? It same applies to mining, shipping, electricity generation as well as distribution. So therefore IFCI focuses on providing the long term as well as the medium term credit or advances. Now, what is the period of credit? The second objective. The period of credit can be as long as 25 years and should not exceed that period. That means the maximum limit for which you can obtain if you are an industry into mining or into electricity generation, you can obtain a long-term credit for what time period? Only 25 years. Yes, that's a long period for 25 years. And there is no larger limit than 25. 25 is the maximum limit, maybe starting from 1 year to 25 is your term of credit borrowing period. Okay, so during this period is what they can obtain. See, imagine if the time period is so long, for 25 long years, then you can imagine what is the amount of capital they will be borrowing. Is that clear? These are the first two objectives. The third one, to grant credit to a single concern up to a maximum amount of rupees 1 crore to any industry. Remember, what does it mention? Any industry or a service industry or a company. What is the maximum amount they can render? 1 crore. Okay. Now, this limit of rupees 1 crore can be exceeded with the permission of the government under certain circumstances. Now, in case that industry is a very promising industry and it definitely needs capital for a industry to boom or industry to without halt or without any kind of inconvenience, the company must continue on the process of manufacturing. It needs more than 1 crore amount of money. Then yes, through government intervention or by the permission of the government, it can take exceeded of rupees 1 crore as a credit. Is that clear? But otherwise, the general instruction or the condition is that any industry in India or any single entity can only borrow up to the amount of rupees 1 crore. If you want to borrow more than that, then you need a special permission from the government of India. Number 4, guaranteeing loans and deferred payments. Now, in case if industries are taking loan from banks or industries or taking loan from any other options, right, then IFCI, especially if we just mentioned about focusing on exports, you remember, focusing on exports, so that we would stop being dependent upon the foreign goods or imported goods. We would start manufacturing in our own country so that the cost of the products will come down and also the profits are going to be rising up. Correct? Now we are focusing on exports, and if let's say there are other countries, our Indian companies or industries are set up in foreign countries and they would like to, and they have taken a loan from that specific country's bank or specific country's any kind of financial institution, they would definitely ask for a guarantee. Who is the nominee or who is the guarantee? In that situation, who comes to the help? IFCI. IFCI is a recognized government development institution which can stand as a guarantee or which has the credibility to stand as a guarantee on behalf of the Indian company in the foreign nation. Yes, if this company fails to make the payment, whatever loan that they have taken, I will stand as a guarantee and make the payment. Is that clear? For deferred payments means, that means you are buying products now, let's say raw materials, or let's say you're enjoying certain services, but you promise to pay later. Okay, deferred means later time you are paying, but you're enjoying the goods now, but the payment is made at a later point of time. That is called as deferred payments. So in that case also, now if you remember, we had discussed about bill of exchange, correct? Discounting bill of exchange. All these is what arises out of credit sales. Is that clear? Arises out of credit purchases or credit sales. Same applies for the industries as well. In case they have borrowed or taken goods or services before and promised to pay later, IFCI will stand as a guarantee for such payments. Number 5, underwrite and directly subscribe to shares and debentures issued by companies. So if there's a now we also studied under the functions of IFCI that it boosts or encourages entrepreneurship activities, entrepreneurial activities, you remember. Now such ideas may not be very popular or acceptable in the society. For society to come up and subscribe the shares, In that case, what does IFCI does? IFCI is going to render its assistance in the form of underwriting the shares or directly subscribing to the shares and debentures of these companies. Now, what exactly is this process means? Let's say entrepreneurial company needs rupees 1 lakh, okay, or let's say it needs rupees 10 lakh. Now, for you as an investor, in order to subscribe to certain company share, you will definitely want to know what is the company doing, what is the company's history, how has the company performed priorly. All these details you will definitely require, correct? Now, with a startup company, you will definitely hesitate. What if this company does not prosper? What if I'm going to lose my investment money, right? All these thoughts is very normal for a investor to cross over. Therefore, IFCI for such companies especially will subscribe those shares. So let's say they need rupees 10 lakh, and when they have issued to the public equity shares, not many have subscribed. Because why? It's a startup company and everybody are doubtful about the performance. So therefore, maybe let's say only 30% of the capital has been subscribed. That means let's say 3 lakh rupees only the public have subscribed. There are 7 lakh is not subscribed. So then IFCI comes to the rescue and underwrites those 7 lakh rupees shares, or even directly subscribes to the company's share. That way, yes, company got capital, okay, all the 10 lakh rupees it got capital. Dual benefit is it has IFCI as its shareholder. That means there is a stronger person on the other side who can support or give assistance towards the company. Is that clear? So that's the meaning of the fifth point, underwriting or directly subscribing to the shares, debentures issued by companies. Number 6, assisting in setting up new projects as well as in modernization of existing industrial concerns in medium and large scale sector. Now we say that not just assistance in terms of finance. IFCI, we looked at the function, it is also providing assistance in terms of establishing business. Remember the first function we did, right? It provides in setting up, that means establishing, modernizing, expansion. Remember all these words we studied in the last class? This is what it applies to. IFCI assists in setting up new projects, correct? That means you want to establish a, let's say, a plant or a manufacturing company, right? A factory in certain area. All the legal procedure that has to move forward, all the permissions that you need to acquire from various local or government authorities, all of such formalities will be more simpler, okay, with when you go through IFCI, as well as in modernization of existing. That means even if you want to start a new project, IFCI will assist you. Or if you are already existing industrial concern and you want to modernize, you want to change the entire kind of equipment that you use, or you want to change the entire setup of your industry or the company, you want to modernize things, yes, that is also possible with IFCI. It not only provides in setting up the business but also in modernization of industrial or existing industrial concerns. It can be a medium term sector or a very large scale sector. Number 7, assist projects under cooperatives and in backward areas. This is very important, correct? Now there are so many small scale, like let's say cottage industries or small scale or tiny scale industries, what we commonly call, they lack investment, they lack technical assistance, they only have skill, okay, but just skill is not enough to set up a industry or to earn profit. You need administration help, correct? You need financial help. You also need continuous support or guidance in order to run that business or a project. In those cases, IFCI assists that project. That means it just supports or gives managerial decisions. At what point of time, what decisions you need to make, right? what technical decisions you need to make, etc. under cooperative and in backward areas. Definitely in backward areas, you cannot find so much of technical help or assistance that has been available. But if those industries can approach IFCI, then IFCI will definitely assist in setting up the projects and also how to run the business, how to administer the business, how to make good choices which has been well for the industries. All these assistance has been provided by the IFCI. Is that clear? So today we have looked at the objectives of Industrial Financial Corporation of India. 6 points. First one was to provide medium and long-term credit for various sectors like manufacturing, mining, shipping, electricity generation and distribution. Second, we looked at the time period of credit not exceeding 25 years. Then we looked at the maximum amount that you can lend for one entity or one concern, that was rupees 1 crore. If you want to exceed that limit, yes you can, but with the prior permission of the government. Number 4, we looked at guaranteeing loans and deferred payments. Number 5, you can underwrite or directly subscribe the shares and debentures issued by various companies. Number 6, it assists in setting up new businesses and also in modernizing the existing businesses. Number 7, assists projects under cooperatives and in backward areas.